Your words will either give you joy or give you sorrow, but if they were spoken without regret, they give you peace. If you tend to a flower, it will bloom, no matter how many weeds surround it. Learn we may be with another man's learning. We can only be wise with wisdom of our own. Too late. I found you can't wait to become perfect. You got to go out and fall down and get up with everybody else. The point of modernity is to live a life without illusions while not becoming disillusioned. True success cannot be achieved until you have experienced failure. If you've got the truth, you can demonstrate it. Talking doesn't prove it. At first, they'll only dislike what you say, but the more correct you start sounding, the more they'll dislike you. A man who does not know his weaknesses will never understand his strength. Concern yourself not with what you tried and failed in, but with what is still possible to do. In order that all men may be taught to speak truth, it is necessary that all likewise should learn to hear it. Celebrasaya Kurdalam se galahau. Bakan Kitakam Minamukan hal Kesel Untakaku Sakuri. But it's important to acknowledge that while we may make mistakes, in the long run, we may also learn from them. Sometimes it takes many attempts to succeed, but it takes a second to lose them all. Always plan well. When I explored my deeper mind, I could understand that my life is only an illusion, an apparent reality. Happiness is part of who we are. Joy is the feeling. Having the life of your dreams is simple. Make conscious choices. I am always doing what I cannot do yet, in order to learn how to do it. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Dream big. You owe no one an explanation for the size of your dream. Create your own miracles. Do what you think you cannot do. I felt lonely and content at the same time. I believe that is a rare kind of happiness. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. You don't have to like someone, but you have to treat them as you wish to be treated. I just wanted to tell you that I understand if you go. It's okay if you have to leave us. It's okay if you want to stop fighting. That is why enemies can be great motivators. They serve as fuel for your fire. All the papers that matter live off their advertisements, and the advertisers exercise an indirect censorship over news. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. We'd met at a carefree time, a moment full of promise. In its place now were the harsh lessons of the real world. You can have everything you want if you can put your heart and soul into everything you do. It shocks me how I wish for what is lost and cannot come back. A life isn't measured in hours and minutes. It's the quality, not the length. I would rather make mistakes in kindness and compassion than work miracles in unkindness and hardness. Life always involves some logic in its manifestations, and logic, as a rule, excludes the versatility of life from its considerations. Being defeated is often a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent. Truth that came too late was as useful as a meal to a dead man. Now I know what success is: living your truth, sharing it. Never let anybody guess that you have a mind of your own. Above all, be pure. Success isn't a result of spontaneous combustion. You must set yourself on fire. Don't sacrifice yourself too much, because if you sacrifice too much, there's nothing else you can give, and nobody will care for you. By helping others, we expand our joy and fly like we were born to do so. Good people see the good and bring out the best in other people. Believe in yourself, and there will come a day when others will have no choice but to believe with you. We can accept and embrace our past as part of the path that shaped who we are now. People are, generally speaking, either dead certain or totally indifferent. Do no harm and leave the world a better place than you found it. If we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living. The truth. Dumbledore sighed. It is a beautiful and terrible thing, and should therefore be treated with great caution. In reality, there are no persons, only threads of memories and habits. At the moment of realization, the person ceases. No dirt can touch me. Like an ocean, everything that comes to me becomes clean. Nothing is generous. New knowledge is a valuable commodity. The more truth we have to work with, the richer we are. The simple things are also the most extraordinary things, and only the wise can see them. We do not have to be mental health professionals to identify the traits of the possible sociopaths among us. The healing starts at the mountain, but you need the river to wash the pain away. Most of the propositions and questions to be found in philosophical works are not false but nonsensical. The forceps of our minds are clumsy forceps and crush the truth a little in taking hold of it. People who know little are usually great talkers, while men who know much say little. We could only choose which path to take to our destination. What happened along the way was entirely up to chance. Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. You have to lift a person up before you can really put them in their place. Do not look for happiness outside yourself. The awakened seek happiness inside. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, and then they attack you and want to burn you, and then they build monuments to you. You're where you are right now because of the actions you've taken, or maybe the inaction you've taken. The bird of paradise alights only upon the hand that does not grasp. Every violation of truth is not only a sort of suicide in the liar, but is a stab at the health of human society. It is not by believing, but by doubting that one can attain to the truth, which is ever-changing form and condition. Authority without wisdom is like a heavy axe without an edge, fitter to bruise than polish. It takes nothing to stay in poverty, but everything to break free from it. Knowledge is responsibility, which is why people resist knowledge. Truth only exists for those who cling to it, so suke eisen. I am nothing more than the consequence of catastrophe. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. If you are still breathing, maybe it is not such a bad day after all. Have faith, have faith. When you have nothing else, have faith. Time is simply the measurement of human progression against that of existence. No matter how many people give me advice, I am going to do what my heart tells me to do. The most important reason for going from one place to another is to see what's in between, and they took great pleasure in doing just that. To shine your brightest light is to be who you truly are. Light cannot lose in a race against darkness, even if denied a head start. Nothing can now be believed which is seen in a newspaper. Truth itself becomes suspicious by being put into that polluted vehicle. Gotta keep my head above water, gotta make it through. Life doesn't require ideals. It requires standards of action. People don't always want to be with people. It gets tiring. If beautiful lilies bloom in ugly waters, you too can blossom in ugly situations. Integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching, and doing as you say you would do. In the end, Lex should have stuck to his lies, for it was the truth he almost told that killed him. With the truth, all given facts harmonize, but with what is false, the truth soon hits a wrong note. Rule of life. If you bother to ask someone's advice, then bother to listen to it. Keep your best wishes, close to your heart and watch what happens. If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. The worst memories stick with us, while the nice ones always seem to slip through our fingers. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do, and then do it. The most believable lies are the ones that are at least a little bit true. When we least expect it, a new door opens on its own to take us where we belong. I'll be happy if running and I can grow old together. Nobody is wired wrong, because there's no wrong and right in the way we are. When there are many worlds, you can choose the one you walk into each day. Go ahead and believe that no one shines brighter than you. Become amazing and be happy.